Hey, I'm John, and this is a Workbench update. First thing I want to look at, I'm almost finished with this GM Guard Custom. It's a HG kit from Bandai, 1/144 scale. This is a fabulous little HG kit. The only seam on the whole doggone kit runs right across the top of the head, and it's real easy to take care of. I've got a little more weathering to do on this guy, and I'll have him finished up. Look for a video sometime next week. That would be the week of the 20th of January, 2020, that I'll detail going over building him, painting him, weathering him, and just a quick video on that. So look for that to come out next week. But if you're looking for a fun HG kit, and especially a GM kit, this guy is it. A few weeks back, I had the video about painting and putting the decals on this Hasegawa 1/35 scale Fireball SG from Machining Krieger. I'll be weathering this in just a couple of weeks, and we'll have a video on that. It's a tiny kit. I mean, you can see, you don't know how big my hands are, but you know how big a Vallejo bottle is. This guy's not even bigger than a Vallejo bottle, but it's a lot of fun to build. It's a lot of fun to paint, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun weathering it. So look for, he's not a big purple dinosaur, not at all. He's not anybody's friend. Anyway, this is going to be a lot of fun to weather, so look for this coming up. All right, here you can see I have finished this AT-AT Walker from Bandai. It's another 1/144 scale kit. I built it in components to make painting and weathering easier. I've got the 4 legs here, the lower part of the body here, the upper part, and of course his head. Got a couple of little guns too. But I'll be painting and weathering this before long. I'm planning on really weathering the heck out of this one because I want to squeeze some content out of it. I know that I'm going to do a video when I weather this to cover the dot filter technique. So I'll be doing that because I figured these slab sides would be perfect to demonstrate that. I may also get a few other things out of it. I haven't fully decided yet, but there should be at least one video coming about weathering this, and then a final wrap-up video. So look for that in the coming weeks. I've been doing an ongoing series of this RX-78-2 Gundam, one of the HGUC kits from Bandai, and it's an ongoing series that starts at nipping and denubbing the parts, goes through the very basics of initial assembly with the bare plastic, pulling it back together, preparing it for paint. The last episode that I published on this was doing the inner frame. The next one is going to be painting and detailing and weathering the weapons. Look for that this coming Friday. And there's going to be more after that. I'm going to do a part on post-shading or pre-shading the armor parts. I'm going to do post-shading the armor parts. I'm going to cover decals. I'm going to cover chipping. I'm going to cover staining. I'm going to cover the whole series of techniques to take you from a bare plastic model to a fairly advanced finish. And even though it's a simple model, it's a great demonstrator. So I hope you'll keep up with that series because I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you're having fun watching it. I do have a Patreon account, and I use that to make sure that I can keep going in paints and supplies and everything else, because if it weren't for the support of my wonderful patrons, I couldn't do what I do. We just couldn't afford it. And in that, I do exclusive Patreon, both text and photo work and video work for the top 2 tiers. One of the things I'm working on in that is this Bandai Shore Trooper. I'm doing a video series on building and painting and weathering this guy. It's about halfway through right now, and you can see where he's at. So if you're interested in that and some of the other Patreon content, follow the link in the description below, and you can take a look at the Patreon account and see what I have there to offer. And I would be most grateful for your consideration and your support. The tools and products we use in our hobby are always very important, and one of my favorite and most simple products is Vallejo Model Color Sky Gray. Now the reason I bring, you may be thinking, how is that important? This color is a color that I don't think I could live without. I use it for dry brushing, for accenting white, for against a black background, for actually using it as if it's white so that it's not so stark. It's a great color to lighten up other paints and desaturate them without bringing it down too much. This paint, when I get even close to being low on this paint, I make sure to get to the store and buy me another bottle so that I can have one standing by just in case. You see I've got my spare waiting, even though this one's only about half empty. So this is a great color to add to your arsenal of paints for a wide variety of purposes. And I use it on just about every model. So take a look at this one and see what you think. Okay, as a final word before I wrap up, I'm going to be doing a lot more video in 2020. My focus is going to be on doing a lot of video. I'm still going to do blog entries, but I'm going to reserve those for when I finish a model, and not just simply to say, hey, look, I primed a thing. So I'll still do blog entries, but most of what I do is going to be focused on video. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would be most grateful if you would subscribe, like the videos that I put out, share those. I'm really trying to grow the channel, so any assistance that you can give me in that, I would be most grateful for. And yes, I'm begging shamelessly. So please do subscribe. And in the description below this video, down there, there are some links to my blog, to the various social media platforms I'm on, and also, as I mentioned, to Patreon. So I would appreciate your support in any one or all of those areas. It helps me to just do this hobby in the way that I do it, and at the pace that I do it. And I'm very grateful for your support in all of those areas. Finally, I always want to remind people, in this hobby, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Happy day to you, friends. Bye-bye.